Hey, I'm Frederick Branting, and you're here to learn about my life. Good day, I'm Dr. Frederick Branting. I was born on November 14, 1891 in Alliston, Ontario. I became a medical scientist and painter over the years. Also, I brought an honor to my country because I was one of the first Canadians to ever receive the Nobel Prize for Physiology and Medicine. Lastly, I am best known as one of the discoverers of insulin, which is a powerful and life-saving therapy for diabetes mellitus. I am the youngest of 6 children of William Thompson Banting and Margaret Grant. I had 5 other siblings. Their names are Angus, William, Alexander, Alfred, and Esther. Unfortunately, my fourth brother Alfred died the same year as he was born. Also, my family was an extended family of determined producers and prosperous farmers in Alston area. Lastly, my family's well-established farming industry was able to support us financially and provide us with basic necessities and education. In 1910 to 1911, I have decided to start my post-secondary career with Victoria College at University of Toronto. I applied for the general arts program to pursue theology so that I could enrich my knowledge on God and other religious beliefs. Unfortunately, I have failed to continue on with this program because I was determined to join the medicine program at University of Toronto. Then I was accepted into this program and have begun medical school in September 1912. Finally, my class of 1917 was accelerated, graduating in 1916 because of the urgent need for doctors to serve in the First World War. During the beginning of the Great War, I was eager to join the military so that I could express patriotism towards Canada. Unfortunately, my application was denied due to my poor eyesight. However, in 1915, I was able to join the medical corps as a private, which is the lowest military rank. So I spent the summer training before returning to school. After my graduation in 1916, I was sent to work in military hospitals in England. Lastly, I have greatly served Canada during the First World War, since my main duty was to perform surgeries on wounded Canadian soldiers. I was awarded the Military Cross in 1919 because I portrayed dedication and heroism during the war in Europe. My act of heroism was recognized when I was badly wounded at the Battle of Cambrai in 1918. Despite my injuries, I did my best to help other wounded men for 16 hours straight. I returned to Toronto to complete my surgical training at Toronto's Hospital for Sick Children. Then I studied orthopedic medicine, and in 1919 to 1920 I became a resident surgeon at the Hospital for Sick Children. I made a decision to move to London, Ontario because I was unable to obtain a position on the hospital staff. I did a lot of interesting things there. I continued my general practice by opening a medical office in July 1920, and I was also a part-time professor in orthopedics and anthropology at the University of Western Ontario because my medical practice had not been particularly successful. On the night of October 31st, 1920, I was reading an article dealing with new discoveries in fighting diabetes. That article reminded me so much of my 14-year-old friend who had passed away from this disease. So my friend's death motivated me to conduct further diabetes research by trying to isolate an internal secretion of the pancreas that might prove to be a cure for diabetes. Diabetes or diabetes mellitus is often described as a group of metabolic diseases in which the person has high blood glucose, either because insulin production is poor or because the body's cells do not respond properly to insulin, or both. Based on research from a few scientists like Bernard Nonnen and Oskar Minkowski, diabetes resulted from a lack of a protein hormone secreted by the islets of Langerhans in the pancreas. Firstly, I discussed the idea with F. R. Miller, a professor of physiology at University of Western Ontario, and then he advised me to seek support for his proposed research at the University of Toronto. On May 17, 1921, I started to test my theorems, curiosity, and research with the help of a medical student named Charles H. Best. Best and I discovered the hormone insulin in the pancreatic extracts of dogs, which means that we tested our experiments by injecting the hormone into them. Our experiments became effective and successful to dogs, since it lowered their high blood glucose levels to normal. Lastly, we developed insulin for human treatment in the winter of 1921 to 1922. My co-discoverers were a medical student named Charles H. Best, a Canadian chemist named James B. Collip, a Scottish physiologist named John James Rickard MacLeod, and three other collaborators. Insulin is a type of hormone produced by beta cells of the pancreatic islets. Additionally, insulin is considered as an effective and powerful life-saving therapy for diabetes. Insulin's role is to help your body turn blood sugar, or known as glucose, into energy. Also, it helps your body store glucose in your muscles, fat cells, and liver to use later, especially when the body needs it. Lastly, one of insulin's main roles is to maintain low blood glucose levels. The discovery of insulin changed my life in a major way since I became a significant and respected inventor in Canada and all around the world. There were also big changes in my profession since I was appointed senior demonstrator in medicine at the University of Toronto in 1922. Additionally, I was elected to the new Banting and the Best Chair of Medical Research, which were endowed by the legislature of the province of Ontario. Lastly, I gained the position of honorary consulting physician in the Toronto General Hospital, the Hospital for Sick Children, and the Toronto Western Hospital. Yes, I try to contribute more medical research to the healthcare industry by furthering my knowledge and understanding on silicosis, cancer, and the mechanisms of drowning. In addition, I worked with the Royal Canadian Air Force in research concerning the physiological problems encountered by pilots while operating high-altitude combat aircrafts. Also, I was involved in treating mustard gas burn, and I dealt with the problems of aviators such as blackout during World War II. Lastly, I was also the co-inventor of ISU, which stops pilots from blacking out when they are subjected to G-forces while turning and diving. First and foremost, I received the Reed Prize of the University of Toronto in 1922. In addition, I shared the Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine with John James Rickard MacLeod in 1923. Additionally, I received honorary degrees from the University of Western Ontario, the University of Toronto, the Queen's University, the University of Michigan, and the Yale University, all in 1924. Moreover, the University of Toronto and the Ontario Legislature built the Banting and Best Department of Medical Research. Then I was knighted as a Knight Commander of the Order of British in 1934. Furthermore, I was elected as a Fellow of the Royal Society in May 1935. Lastly, my most significant achievement is that I had improved the lives of diabetics in Canada and all around the world. Besides my passion for medicine, I became interested with painting. In fact, I became friends with A.Y. Jackson and the Group of Seven, which is a group of Canadian landscape painters. Then, I expressed my passion for painting by joining the Group of Seven and traveling around Canada to paint its majestic sceneries and landscapes. And that concludes the facts about my life. Thanks for watching.